And this is the after, 12 bales later. I probably could have gotten away with 10, but it's looking really good. I grew up in Maryland, lived a lot of my life in New York State, so pine straw was something new to me. Again, it's one of the cheaper materials down here because we have a ton of pine trees just all around us, so easy to harvest, and it makes the garden look good. So what I traditionally do is use pine straw in this big area. I'll try to link below. You got to see what this area looked like 2 years ago. It's nothing but weeds. I'm still working at the centipede grass. It's kind of a work in progress. But where it was weeds, I put a hose around and sprayed Roundup, killed off that whole area, and then planted the first couple Encore azaleas and these 2 climbing roses, which are both Dublin Bay. So in the last 2 years, things have really progressed. Last summer, we added these blueberry bushes. The plan is for next spring, when I can get my hands on some raspberries, to do a row of raspberries that grow well down south. The canna lilies we transplanted from closer to the house out to here, and at the time the shed didn't look that good. I refinished the doors, but we kind of wanted to block that area, and that certainly has happened. So this is what pine straw looks like. It certainly looks the best after you've applied it, and you can tell I ran out of some of that green tape, garden tape that you use to stake things up, and the twine that came with the straw I used as a temporary method just to tie up these climbing roses because they were really falling down. And in 2 years' time, they have almost completely overtaken that trellis, so that's very exciting. I mentioned these canna lilies, quite tall, and they look really nice with the red orange flowers on top. So that's what the climbing rose garden looks like. Again, it didn't have a ton of weeds because we have used a pre-emergent there, and really not as bad as the main rose garden. One of the best ones is certainly this. If you ever saw some of my older videos, this is our old compost pile. It just didn't really look good. I mentioned the 2 Encore azaleas and the black diamond crepe myrtle. But this is what you gotta love of YouTube. I'm certain that you can see this on another video, but notice how this has this tucked look. I watched a couple long hair channels, and they showed that if you put the pine straw down and go beyond your edge a little bit, then come back with a leaf blower, you can actually tuck it underneath. I'm sure there's a video. I should have grabbed some video while I did it, but it's pretty easy. You just extend that pine straw out beyond the bed, and then from a distance kind of blow, and it'll twirl around, and it will have that nice edge look to it. So I try to do that around the garden itself. So I know this video is getting long, so we will wrap things up. Comment below, what do you use to mulch? And most of the big gardens here, I use pine straw. In the rose garden this year, I use some pine bark shredded hardwood mulch, and we did the same thing around the fire pit. So I'll mix it up. The stuff that is cheapest I'll put on the areas that are real big, and then usually what's on sale. But I've used everything from compost to chopped leaves to, in this case, pine needles, and then the pine bark. So let me know what you think. Looks a lot better for sure. Hack those weeds down, or sprayed them, hacked them, and then covered them up with pine straw. Any that peek through that maybe didn't get the full effect of the Roundup, or maybe I missed it, I will certainly just spot treat as necessary. And of course, being cautious for the ornamentals, because when you spray something like that, it is non-selective. It will kill anything it touches, so you certainly got to be careful. Have a great one. As always, I appreciate the new subscribers. I'm kind of shocked that we continue to get new subscribers. It's just a video blog, nothing super special, just what we're doing in the rose garden and in some of the other gardening in the yard itself, like the vegetables on the deck. Have a good one, everyone.